going to deal with your Essay 1 examination, science subject of 9th standard. So, how to write the answers? It is a model paper with the answers here. So, today we'll be discussing this particular question paper. Alright? Okay. So, moving on with the first main, that is fill in the blanks. Yes? So, here the fill in the blanks, okay, there are for each one carries 5 marks, okay, each carries what, 5 marks there. Yes, so 1 into 5 is 5. So let's move on with the first fill in the blank. Dash causes cooling. So now we have seen different states of matter, that is solid, liquid and gases. Then we have seen the different reactions that are going to take place. That means when a solid is converting into liquid and liquid to the gaseous, right? So when we are having this evaporation process, so whenever the evaporation occurs, there is a cooling effect. There is what? Cooling effect there. So answer is evaporation. So next question, atomic mass of sulfur is, yes, so we have so many elements, 118 elements there, okay, so out of them sulfur is 1. So the atomic mass of the sulfur is how much? 32. It is 32. So Chlamydomonas is example for. So Chlamydomonas, so in our living cell, that means we have studied different types of cells there, unicellular and multicellular organisms. Correct? In case of multicellular means many cells. But Chlamydomonas is one of the unicellular organism. That means they are single celled. They don't have multiple cells there. So it is example for what? Unicellular organism. Dash form the functional unit of nervous tissue. So nerves, we have seen the structure there. So nervous tissue, it is made up of, each nervous tissue, it is made up of single set called as neuron. So neuron form the functional unit of this nervous tissue. So neurons play an important role in the formation of this nervous tissues. J.J. Thomson discovered dash. So J.J. Thomson is very well known for discovering the cathode rays. Yes, he is very well known for his experiments where he has discovered the cathode rays there. Okay, so moving on to the next set here. Yes, so next set that we have here is the fill in the blanks. So each fill in the blanks, not fill in the blanks, they match the following. So here in case of match the following also, we have each question carrying 1 marks. So you'll be having here 5 of them. Okay. So now let's go with the first match the following. Melting point of ice is, so always remember the boiling point of your water is 100 degrees Celsius. But melting point of ice is 273.16 Kelvin. So when we are saying Kelvin, you know the interconversion there. 273 Kelvin means, degree Kelvins means it is 0 degree. So the melting point of ice is 0 degree, or if you want to tell it in the Kelvin scale, so it will be 273.16 Kelvin. Suspension. So what is this suspension? How does it look? Yes, different types of solutions when we are discussing, we have come across this particular word, suspension. So suspension is the very most important properties. It is heterogeneous. It is what? Heterogeneous. That means the particles which are present in this particular suspension, they are not homogeneous. That means they are not one and the same. Hetero means different. So suspension is having different kind of particles in it. Then phosphorus. Yes, next we have is phosphorus. So phosphorus tetraatomic. Yes, it is how much? Tetra. Tetra means 4. So phosphorus has 4 atoms there. Okay, tetraatomic. Carbon in this particular given options, it holds good for 4. So the valency of carbon is how much? 4. That means it is having the capacity or the ability to take up or bond up with another element with 4 electrons. So that's 4. It is nothing but the valency of the carbon, that is 4. Funaria. So it is a example for your thallophyte. It is example for thallophyte. When we have studied in the your chapters, yes, about the biodiversity, there you have come across this one. Okay. Now next that we have here is the question answers part. So you need to answer the following in one sentence. You need to answer them in one sentence. Each one will be carrying 1 mark. So total here, how many marks? 10 marks. So total we have 10 marks here. So let's go with the first one. Okay. So name the properties of gases that helps aquatic plants and animals survive in water. So now you have seen that we human beings do respire because oxygen is present in the atmosphere. But as we look at the aquatic plants and animals, how are they going to get this oxygen? How are they going to survive? So by which property is being applied there? So it is nothing but the diffusion property, which is what? Diffusion. So what exactly happens here is the oxygen, it gets diffused in the water. Yes, it gets diffused in the water. Okay, so this diffused oxygen is taken up by whom? Your aquatic plants and animals. Moving on to the next question. What are the two components of solution? Yes, so a solution, it is made up of solute and the solvent. Okay, so the two major components of your solution are solute and solvent. Solute means the substance which is going to be dissolved in one more liquid medium, or it might be two liquid mediums only. So solute is the solid particle which dissolves in a liquid substance. Okay, so then we will get the solution. Give an example for octaatomic element. Yes, sulfur is again example for what? Octaatomic element. Octa means 8. So sulfur is having 8 element. Yes, atoms in it. Sulfur is having how many atom? 8 atoms. Which is the chemical formula? What is the chemical formula of ammonium phosphate? Yes, ammonium. Ammonia means NH4. Phosphate means PO. Phosphate means PO. So, yes, so the chemical formula for ammonium phosphate is NH4 thrice PO3. NH4 thrice PO3. Which subatomic particle is not present in the hydrogen atom? Yes, usually in an atom there are subdivisions. Yes, we have the electrons, the protons and the neutrons. So the protons and neutrons together form the nucleus. Yes, they form the nucleus of an atom. So but when we are talking about hydrogen atom, it has one proton only. Yes, it has only one proton and one electron because they have to be balanced there. So the one which is not, the subatomic particle which is not present in hydrogen atom is neutron. What does the nucleus contains? Yes, next question. So nucleus, so please don't get confused. When we are talking about the atoms, there also we use the word nucleus, but when we are dealing with the cell, there also we use the word nucleus. Okay, so the nucleus of a cell, it contains nucleolus and chromatin material. So what does it contains? It contains nucleolus and chromatin material. So chromatin means it is the genetic chromosomes. Those are the genetic material. Okay. Next, where does the ATP synthesis takes place? So As we have studied about the mitochondria, we have the inner membrane will be folded very smoothly there. It means the foldings of this mitochondria, the inner membrane is folded many a times. So that is called as nothing but cristae. So in this particular cristae, the ATP synthesis takes place. Okay, in here the ATP synthesis, adenosine triphosphate, the energy currency is synthesized here in the inner wall of mitochondria. Next question. Name the basic packing tissue of the plant. So which is the basic packing tissue of the plant? That means it is a tissue where you find in most of the parts of your plants. So one such is your parenchyma. Which is the one? Parenchyma. So these parenchyma tissues you find in most of the places of your plant. So that's why they are going to act here as the packing tissues. Okay. Name the tissue which is present in the veins of the leaves. Yes, in the veins of your leaves. If you have seen the structure of the leaf there, you have your parenchyma, collenchyma and the sclerenchyma. But especially in the veins, you have the sclerenchyma cells. You have what? The sclerenchyma cells there. You have the sclerenchyma cells or the sclerenchyma tissues. What are chromosomes made up of? So what are these chromosomes made up of? Because we say that chromosomes are the genetic material. Yes. So these chromosomes, they are made up of DNA and proteins. They are made up of DNA and the proteins. Yes. Next we have next set of question answers. That means you have to answer these set of question answers in 2 or 3 sentences where each will carry 2 marks. Yes, each will be carrying how much? 2 marks there. It will be carrying 2 marks. Alright, so let's go with the first question. But in case of this particular fourth main, you have to write any 5. Yes, you have an option here. There are options. More than 5 questions they have been given. Out of them you have to write only 5. This is very important. State 2 important functions of the nucleus of the cell. Yes, write down 2 important functions of your cells. Yes, important functions of the nucleus of a particular cell. So first one, nucleus is the control center of the cell. Yes, it is what? The control center. It is the main functioning unit of your cell. And secondly, this particular nucleus, it consists of DNA. What all are present in this nucleus? We have the DNA, which is the genetic material, which is present in the form of genes, which is being carried from, which do carry the hereditary characteristics from one generation to the another. That means whatever the hereditary characteristics are there, they have been passed on to the next generation by this genetic material, that is DNA. Write the functions of cutin. So in case of tissues, we have studied the permanent tissues, that is simple permanent tissues. In case of simple permanent tissue, we have the parenchyma, collenchyma, sclerenchyma. So some of these are being modified. Yes, so there we have something called as cutin. So this particular cutin, it is a very thin layer which is almost found on the leaves there. Okay, so it is acting as a very thin layer which is present just above the epidermis there. Okay, so what is the function of this cutin? Why it is required by the plants? So it is a chemical substance having waterproof quality present in the epidermis. Yes, so what is this cutin? Cutin is a thin layer of a chemical substance produced by the plants itself having a waterproof quality. That means it resists the entry of the water molecules, and it is present on the epidermis. It prevents excessive loss of water through transpiration. So what is the main function of this particular cutin? First of all, it is waterproof, so it won't allow the excess of water to come inside. At the same time, the excess of water is also not going to move out of the leaf or the plant there. Determine the valency of oxygen and sulfur. Yes, so you need to determine the valency of oxygen and your sulfur there. Okay, so oxygen is having atomic number 8. Therefore, the electronic configuration here we have is 2. Yes, in K, L and M shells. In the K shell we have 2 electrons, and in the M shell, in the L shell we have 6 electrons. So always remember, K shell can take up only 2 electrons, L can take 8 electrons, M can take 18, and N can take 32. Okay, so here in case of L we have 8 electrons, but oxygen is having how many? 6 there. Therefore the valency here is, so the atomic number minus the number of electrons which are present in the outermost orbit there. That is, here the orbit is L orbit. So in case of L, how many electrons we have? We have 6. Yes, but the atomic number of oxygen is 8. So 8 minus 6 is how much? 2. So the valency of oxygen is how much? 2 there. In the same way, sulfur. So the atomic number of sulfur is how much? 16. We already know this one. Then when we write the electronic configuration, then that means 16 are there, atomic number. That means those many number of electrons will also be present. So in case of K shell we have 2 electrons. Then in L shell we have 8. That means L shell is completely filled. But when it comes to M shell, there are how many electrons? 6 electrons. There are how many electrons? There are 6 electrons. So here we have 6 electrons. Yes. So again, what is valency wise? If we take, it will be 8 minus 6. That means it can take up how many here? In case of M, 8. So minus 6 is how much? 2. Therefore again valency of sulfur is 2 there. Interconversion of states of matter occur at constant temperature. Explain. So interconversion of states of matter. Which are the different states of matter? Solid, liquid and gases. So when they are interconverting, so it occurs at constant temperatures. Yes, every time at any temperature the interconversion doesn't take place. It requires a specific temperature. Then only the interconversion of the states of the matter occurs. So during the interconversion of state from solid to liquid or liquid to gas, the temperature remains constant. Yes, this is very important. The temperature remains constant till all the solid has melted or all the liquid has vaporized. Yes, so it will be remaining same until when? Until all the solid is being melted or liquid is being vaporized. The heat energy is used up in overcoming the force of attraction. Yes, so we do, to overcome this, we'll be applying the heat energy also during the interconversion state of these matters. Okay. Next question. Why do sky appears blue? Why sky appears blue? What is the reason? Yes, so the blue color of the sky is due to scattering of light by fine particles of dust. So in case of Tyndall effect, what happens? So it is nothing but the Tyndall effect, because so the blue color of the sky, when the sunrise appears, it is going to come or it is going to reach the earth. So during that time you have very fine small particles of this dust. So what happens? whenever the light rays are traveling in a straight line, these become the obstacles and they change the direction of the light rays. So that means they are scattering the light there. So which are present in the atmosphere. So these dust particles are present in the atmosphere. So this is the reason why sky appear blue. Next, calculate the number of molecules in 4 gram of methane. Yes, in 4 gram of methane. So it has been already given that atomic mass of carbon is 12 and hydrogen is 1. So let's find out the molar mass of methane first. Okay. So molar mass of methane. Methane is represented as CH4. Carbon is 12 and hydrogen, how many we have here? 4 atoms. 4 atoms of hydrogen. That's why 4 into 1, because atomic mass of carbon is 12 and hydrogen is 1. So 4 molecule of hydrogen will give me 4, that is 12 plus 4 is 16 grams per mole. So 16 grams per mole of your methane contains how many? 6.022 into 10 raised to 23 molecules. So this is nothing but the Avogadro number. So if 16 gram of methane consists so many molecules, that is 6.022 into 10 raised to 23 molecules, then in case of 4 gram of methane, how much it will contain? It's very easy. If for 16 gram so many, then for 4 gram how much it will be? Yes, so Avogadro number, yes, divided by 16, it will give me how much? 1.5055. So it will give me how much? 1.055 there. Yes, so Avogadro number is very important. Moving on to the next question here. Answer the following in 3 or 4 sentences. Answer the following in 3 or 4 sentences. So first question. So here these are for how many marks? Each question carries 3 marks. So 3 into 4 will give me 12 marks. So each question carries 3 marks here. Okay. So let's start with the first one. List 6 characteristics of parenchyma tissue. So what are these characteristics of parenchyma tissue? The cells of parenchyma are living and possess the power of division. Okay, this is very important. So parenchyma tissue is a living tissue and they have the ability to divide there. They divide themselves very easily. So each parenchyma cell is isodiametric. So the structure of your parenchyma tissue is isodiametric in shape and they have very thin wall and dense cytoplasm. Yes, they have very dense cytoplasm and they have a small nucleus, very small nucleus there. The cells are loosely packed with a large intercellular space between them. So between these, any of the two parenchyma cells, they do have lot of space there. Yes, there is lot of intercellular space there. They have lot of intercellular space between them. It is found in soft sort of plants such as yes, it is soft sort of plants or the parts of the plant such as the cortex of the roots, ground tissues, stems and in the mesophyll of leaves. So basically this parenchyma tissue is found in most of the parts of your plant. It serves as a packing tissue to fill space between other tissues and maintain the shape of the plant. Yes, sometimes what happens, we have different kinds of tissues there in a plant, right? We already know that one. We have collenchyma, sclerenchyma, xylem, phloem. Yes, we have so many there. Meristematic tissues. So this parenchyma tissue, it helps in as a packing tissue to reduce the space between the other two tissues and it helps to maintain the shape of the plant there. It stores waste products. Yes, it stores what? Waste products. of the plant such as tannin. Sometimes what happens when the production takes place during the food synthesis, there will be synthesis of some of the waste products, byproducts, not waste products as such, the byproducts. So this parenchyma tissue, it stores those byproducts in them. Alright, understood this one? Now fine, let's go with the next question. State the principle of centrifugation and give two applications of it. The principle of centrifugation is that the denser particles are forced to the bottom and the lighter particles stay at the top when spun rapidly. So what actually the basic principle is very easy. So what happens when you spun there, what happens? The heavier particles, they are going to settle at the bottom, and the lighter particles, they are going to come up. So there is a device used to separate the solid from the liquids. Yes, if you have a mixture, yes, usually the centrifugation is used to separate the mixtures there. What kind of mixtures? Where you have the mixture having the particles with different densities there, with the different densities. So you can separate the solids from the liquids here by spinning. So that particular device is called as centrifuge. It is called as what? Centrifuge. So where all this particular centrifugation process is being used? So it is used in the diagnostic laboratories for blood and urine test. Yes, so as we are talking about the bloods, we have very different types there. Yes, different types of cells there. So we have tissues also there. We have red blood cells, white blood cells, platelets. Yes, so many things. So we need to separate them. So in all such cases, this centrifuge is being used. It is also used in washing machines. At your home, you have your washing machines. So you have something called as dryer there. Yes. So what actually happens here is the same thing. So when your washing machine spins there, all the water molecules, the heavier molecules, they are going to settle down there. So that means your clothes are being squeezed. That means water is being squeezed out of your wet clothes there. Yes, understood? Moving on to the third question. What is suspension? Write properties of suspension. So what is this suspension? So a suspension is a heterogeneous mixture in which the solute particles do not dissolve. This is very important. Suspension is a type of heterogeneous mixture where the solutes are not dissolved, but they are going to be remaining, or they are remain suspended throughout the bulk of the medium. Yes, they will be remaining as it is. They are not going to dissolve, but they are not going to settle down, but they are going to remain as it is. So what are the properties of this suspension? A suspension is heterogeneous in nature. Yes, heterogeneous means it is having different shape, sized particles in it. Its particles can be seen by naked eyes. You can see them. They are not microscopic. You can see them very easily. Its particles scatter beam of light passing through it and make the path visible. So what happens? Yes, so these particles, what? They scatter the light there and they are helping the light to pass through them very easily. It is unstable. What do you mean by unstable here? Why it is unstable? That means the solute particles settle down when suspension is left undisturbed. Yes, so no doubt these particles will be suspended throughout the bulk of the medium, but they become, sometimes they just remain as it is if they are unstable. That means if they are left undisturbed, all these particles will settle down at the bottom. Okay, next we have a sum here. You need to convert into mole. What is that? 20 gram of water. Okay, you need to convert this 20 gram of water into its mole. So atomic mass of your hydrogen and oxygen is 1 and 16 respectively. That is, atomic mass of hydrogen is 1 and oxygen is 16. So why this has been given here is water. So the chemical formula of water is H2O. So the molecular mass here we have is 1. That means what 1 is what? The atomic mass of hydrogen. But hydrogen, how many are there in water molecule? 2. Two atoms of hydrogen molecule and 1 oxygen molecule. So together how much we have here is 18. 18U is the molecular mass of water. So therefore number of molecules in 20 gram of water are 20 divided by 18. So 20 is what? The given one. In 20 gram of water how many moles are there? We need to find out. So how many are there? 1.1 moles. Yes? Alright. So this was about the yes. So next we have yes. So now next set that we have here is the 4-mark questions. Okay, you need to draw a very neat labeled diagram. 4-mark questions. There are 2, so total 8 marks. Yes, there is no option for you here. Okay, so you need to draw a very much neat labeled diagram of phloem tissue. So you have this phloem tissue in your textbook. So draw it neatly. Okay, and as it is for 4 marks, for drawing 2 marks, and for labeling all the parts properly carries 2 marks there. The next question, write any 2 observations which support the fact that atoms are divisible. Yes, you need to give the facts which shows that atoms are divisible. So what are the facts? Formation of ionic compounds is possible due to formation of ions which involves the transfer of electrons. Yes, what the question is, which support the fact that atoms are divisible. That means if 2 elements have to be joined, then there is what? Formation of ionic compound. So how does this ionic compound is formed? It is only formed, or it is possible when there is a formation of ions which involve how these ions are formed. These are formed when transfer of electrons takes place between 2 elements there, or between 2 atoms there. When there is a sharing of these electrons, then we have these ions formed. And one more fact what it suggests here is transformation of isotopes. Isotopes are the one which have the same atomic, which have the same atomic number but different atomic mass. Yes, so transformation of these isotopes of the elements, it is possible when there is difference in the number of protons and the neutrons. So when we are saying that the number of protons and neutrons, these facts they themselves explain that as atoms are divisible. Yes, they do have, those atoms can be subdivided into electrons, protons and neutrons. Alright children, so this was the complete question paper, yes, of 50 marks. You please go through all of this once again. Yes, read them properly, and in the same way prepare for your Essay 1 examination. And let me tell you, when you are drawing any kind